Episode 589. The night passed. Over at Dynasty, they had people assigned to periodically search for those 4 characters. The result, of course, was that they never logged on. The next day, the 2 players tasked with causing trouble were sent to the Happy Internet Cafe once again.
Well, if it isn't our 2 masters.
As soon as the 2 of them walked in, Chen Guo immediately noticed that the clientele in the internet cafe was a revolving door. Those who were here yesterday weren't necessarily here today, and hardly anyone recognized these 2 anymore.
You flatter us, boss. We wouldn't dare call ourselves experts in your establishment,
one of them said. Chen Guo just smiled, saying nothing more.
Need to get online?
Of course.
The player answered without hesitation. Chen Guo called out to the front desk to get them 2 machines, and the pair immediately moved in to get friendly.
Are the masters around?
They're not here.
When will he be in?
The man was taken aback for a moment, then asked his question. Chen Guo also wore a look of surprise.
How would I know that? They're all customers. Am I supposed to keep track of when each one shows up?
Chen Guo's words nearly made the 2 of them spit blood. While this was a perfectly reasonable explanation on the surface, the 2 of them were at least somewhat in the know. The experts at Happy Internet Cafe, they weren't just random customers who happened to show up, were they? That must be someone stationed at the Internet Cafe, ready to form a team with Yi Chu. The boss lady was clearly just blowing smoke. That's what they were thinking, but they couldn't show it on their faces. We've already seen through you, so we just had to put on a show of regret.
Oh? So what time do you masters usually show up?
Oh, that? I haven't really paid much attention to that, to be honest.
Chen Guo's appearance was the very picture of innocent purity, a fact that had fooled countless people. They never saw the fierce, formidable spirit that lay beneath the surface of the great boss Chen. At that moment, Boss Chen spun her tail with utter conviction, her expression the very picture of innocence. The 2 spies watched, momentarily dazed. They couldn't help but think, how could a girl like this possibly lie? We must have gotten it wrong. Fortunately, it didn't take long for their clever intellects to reclaim the high ground. After steadying themselves, they asked with great composure,
Are the machines ready?
C14 and 15.
Chen Guo pointed the way for the 2 of them. Since the person wasn't here, all they could do was wait. It was also a chance to mingle with the folks at the Happy Internet Cafe and see if he could pick up any useful intel. More than half the people in the Internet Cafe were playing Glory, so there were plenty of like-minded folks around. If you wanted to, making some Glory friends at an Internet Cafe would be a piece of cake. But these days, computers are a household staple. Most people who come to an Internet Cafe are already meeting up with a group of friends. When you've already got your crew actively seeking out new friends, that's not so common anymore. But these 2 spies had come with different agendas, so naturally, they were the exception. Once they sat down, they saw that everyone around them was indeed playing Glory. The 2 of them quickly logged into the game as well, exchanged glances with the other customers, and shared a knowing smile. They took the chance to strike up a conversation, but the results were disappointing. Neither of these 2 were regulars at the Happy Internet Cafe, just passing through. It was obvious they wouldn't get the intel they were after from people like this. So the 2 of them kept playing their game, their eyes flicking every so often to the entrance of the Happy Internet Cafe, hoping to catch a glimpse of those 4 experts. They ended up sitting there the entire day, but the people they wanted to see never showed up. As for those 4 who were posing as experts, 2 of them were Happy Internet Cafe's managers. Whether they showed up or not was entirely up to Chen Guo. As for the other 2, while they were the original owners, they had completely defected to Yi Shu's side. As supporters, they naturally cooperated with the plan and did so with great relish. And so, the 2 poor spies spent the entire day staking out Chen Guo's Internet Cafe, never once catching a glimpse of the person they were looking for. They couldn't very well just live in the Internet Cafe. Seeing that it was about time, they had no choice but to pay their bill and leave.
Do you know these 2?
Meanwhile, Shen Guo had quietly snapped photos of the two men and taken them to show Ye Shu.
Of course I don't know them. Why would they send two people I recognize? Wouldn't that just be giving ourselves away?
Ye Shu said without even looking.
Realizing, oh right. Looking at the situation, those two are definitely going to be regulars from now on.
What's wrong with having a couple of regulars?
With those shifty eyes, they look like thieves. If they really are, I'd beat them up first and ask questions later.
Once he knew who they were, Shen Guo couldn't stand the sight of them. Every single thing they did struck him as utterly sleazy.
It's fine. Let them do their thing.
Ye Shu, however, was completely unfazed.
What about Zhan Lulan? Any news from him yet?
Not yet.
That long? What's taking so long?
That long? It's only been a day or two.
That's not long enough.
This is no longer just a game. It's a business, a high-stakes gamble. How could we not be cautious?
Disdainful.
Chen Guo wasn't fazed. The two who'd spent the day spying to no avail had already reported the situation to Chen Yehui over Cuckoo. Chen Yehui was left with no choice. They'd waited in the game all day, but those 4 expert characters never once logged on. How could a top-tier player be so stingy with their online time? Chen Yehui was becoming more and more convinced his earlier suspicion was correct. Ye Qiu had probably been guarding against this move all along. If that's the case, then those two will go and find absolutely nothing. With that settled, Chen Yehui consulted Lu Hao again. They decided to send even more people. Besides the two who had a perfectly good reason to go every day, they would add extra manpower to keep the happy internet cafe under 24-hour surveillance. For Chen Yehui and his crew, this arrangement wasn't much of a hardship. Their work was already conducted online, in the game. Sending them to keep an eye on Happy Internet Cafe meant they'd be online and gaming anyway, so it barely disrupted their duties. But as the days ticked by, 1, 2, 3, they came up empty. They couldn't find the player in the game, and they never spotted the master outside of it.